Yo guys, what is up? No, I don't like that. Hey guys! Nope. What is up guys? It has been forever. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Man, honestly, I don't think I made a YouTube video in like a year, which I've gone through seasons where I like made a lot of them, and then I've kind of just like dropped off, so sorry. So I really want to make a video about my life out of college the last year. I feel like a lot has changed, and coming from college to the real world is a massive transition, and so I just want to talk about that. Without further ado, let's get started. It's like really hot in here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is my transition from college to the real world. It's a pretty scary transition looking at it, you know, because high school to college is big, but college to the real world I found was bigger.
Sometimes I'll start a sentence and I don't even know where it's going. I just hope I find it along the way.
So the first thing I want to talk about is my transition from college to the real world. A lot of you guys know, if you've watched basically any of my YouTube videos the past 4 years, I went to college in Oklahoma. Now, I did not grow up in Oklahoma. I grew up in Dallas, Texas. So the college I went to was 3.5 hours north. And a lot of people there were from Oklahoma. And so that's kind of setting the backstory of my transition, because when I graduated, I got a job back in Dallas. I love Dallas. I always wanted to come back here. I prayed about it. I was like, God, if you really want me to stay in Oklahoma City, I will.
I guess that deep in my heart, I'll always be a Texas girl.
And thankfully, the Lord heard me and was like, okay, you know, she wants to be in Dallas. That's part of my will for her. So I got a job in Dallas. So that part of the transition was difficult for me because all of my friends stayed in Oklahoma City. So when I first got down here to Dallas, you know, I was excited because this is where my family is. I love this place. I grew up here. But I really didn't have any friends. I had a couple friends from high school, so I was able to like rekindle some of those friendships. But the close friends that I spent 4 years building was not anywhere near me anymore. So moving back to Dallas was not difficult for me to do. This is where my family was. I grew up here. I love the city and I wanted to come back here. The difficult part for me was the community that I had lost. You know, you're in college, so not only do you have your core group of friends, you are with people 24/7. They are all over campus. You can go to the common area and spend all night with people if you want to. There's always going to be someone there. And then you get out of college and it's like a reality shock. You kind of wake up and you're like, wow, I have to find friends and I have to find things to do. And they're not just like falling into my lap. Like in college, I mean, I had to choose between like 3 different events, like every single night. It's like, oh, I could go here, I could go here, and then some nights I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna spend 30 minutes at this event, and then I'm gonna hop over to this one, and then I'm gonna swing around for the last hour of this one. Because there was so many things. When you get out of college, you're like, wow, there's nothing. Don't get me wrong, there definitely is things to do. I live in Dallas, so Dallas is a ton of things to do, but you have to find them. So in comparison to college, it is a lot more difficult to find community, to find things to do. And so that was something that this last year I had to learn. What am I gonna do with my time? So obviously the first thing that I sought out was church. Now, once I got out of college, you know, I started trying a lot of churches. I moved into an apartment by myself. As you can see, this is my place. And I decided to, you know, start looking at churches. And it really took me till the end of August to really find my church. So all of last summer, I was trying out churches, I was meeting people, but it's in that kind of awkward, like, new phase of like, you're not really comfortable around anyone yet. So you're meeting a lot of new people and it's fun, but no one really knows you and you don't really know them. And so, yeah, last summer was extremely lonely.
If I keep my body moving and my mind occupied at all times, I will avoid falling into a bottomless pit of despair.
I think it's natural. I think it's natural to feel that, you know, if you are going to be graduating college soon and you're going to be moving out on your own like me, you know, I think there's natural things you have to mourn. You have to mourn that you have lost the community that you had in college. You have to mourn that stage of life. I had to grieve, you know, what I had lost. And then I was able to get excited for the future. You know, you're not going to classes anymore and have no responsibilities. You're gonna have responsibilities. You're gonna have a job. You're gonna have bills to pay. You're gonna have a rent to pay. You're gonna have all these different responsibilities, and they're not bad. It's just a new phase of life. I think something that was not helpful in college is people would always tell me, oh, it's the best 4 years of your life. And in college I was like, yes, I'm so excited, it's gonna be amazing. But then you start getting to the point where you're like looking at after college and you're like, man, like that was the best 4 years of my life. Is it all downhill from here? And the answer to that is no. There are a lot of fun things to do out of college. So I just want to give you guys that encouragement. College is an amazing 4 years of your life. It is not the only 4 years of your life. There are gonna be greater things to come. In college, I feel like you're just a ball of potential. And then when you get out of college, you can actually do something with what you've been studying the past 4 years. It's extremely, extremely fulfilling. So do not think that if you're about to graduate, it's okay to be scared, but don't think that it's the end of all fun and everything like that. I've had a lot of fun out of college. In fact, I'm gonna talk about some of my hobbies, some of the things that I found that I really like to do out of college. I never would have had time to really try in college because I was so busy with everything. So one of the first things that I did outside of college was I joined a rock climbing gym. So that could be a kind of a fun way to meet people, and I would boulder. So kind of the shorter routes and courses without harnesses. So I found that really thrilling and I really enjoyed doing that. Another thing that I really enjoy doing is two-stepping. So I go to this, I don't like how I said that, two-stepping? So country. So something I really like doing is going two-stepping. And so, you know, I do these dance lessons, and so I get to meet people that way, and I get to dance and have fun. And so I've realized that being out of college, I can now explore certain areas of interest with like more intentionality, because in college there's so much to offer. It's almost like when you go to an ice cream store and there's like too many choices. That kind of is like how college is, you just can't pick. And so you get a little bit of everything, but you don't really get to enjoy just one thing. I have actually appreciated that out of college, and how now that I have a lot more time and not everything fighting for my attention and things to do, I get to focus on, yes, I'm gonna really get into these ballroom dancing lessons, or I'm really gonna get into rock climbing. Or, you know, even if it's like just, I'm gonna really get to know and hang out with this group of friends. And so I've really enjoyed that out of college. My life has drastically evened out. In college, I feel like I was doing this like all the time. Like the highs were high and the lows were low, and I was like speeding through all of it, and I was exhausted.
I'm dead.
Don't get me wrong, loved college to death. Like, it was the most incredible experience. However, I was very exhausted in college. I was tired. I did everything. Everyone on campus knew me. They knew, oh yes, Vicky, she's in all the clubs. She does everything. And so now that I'm out of college, I was able to just, you know, take a deep breath and get to be like, okay, nothing is pulling for my attention right now. What do I want to do? And so some of that included photography too. I'll go out and I'll walk around, I'll take nature shots, and I love doing that. And I love going on walks at this really pretty nature preserve up the street from my house. And so I say house. Oh, that's funny. I can't afford one of those. I live in a 549 square foot box. Yay! I also want to talk about living alone. I feel like a lot of people that know me would be like, Vicky would hate living alone. And you would be wrong. I actually love living alone. There's something about having my own space that is so fulfilling. I'm looking around my apartment and it's like, I pay for this and I earn the money to pay for this. And honestly, I really like it. I think it's good for me. As many of y'all know, I'm an extrovert, but I have my limits, and when I go back to my apartment, I usually want to be alone. But also, you know, on Saturday I wake up and it's like, okay, what am I gonna do with my time? And so it's made me realize, that was not a word. It's made me really seek out community, seek out friends. It's like, okay, I'm putting on my calendar 2 weeks from today at 6:30 p.m. at this location. Like, you have to make an effort. And I've gotten to know some really great people. The way that the Lord has placed me at a certain church, put people in my life, and had those people introduce me to other people has been a big blessing. And it has not been an easy road. I will be the first to admit that. It can be really difficult making friends. I don't know why, but it is hard making friends as a young adult. I've also had to get used to paying like bills and stuff, which, you know, my mom would always joke like, enjoy your childhood because one day you'll have to pay the bills, and that day came really fast. But to be honest, you know, paying bills and credit card and rent, it's not as bad as I thought. The Lord gives and He takes away, and you know, the Lord has blessed me with, you know, a job that pays enough to where I can get an apartment and I can live on my own, and so I try to hold that loosely. So I try to, you know, use my money and kind of say, you know what, God, it's yours. Kind of keep an open hand with that. You know, like paying for my electric, paying for my water, my rent.
I mean, look at what I've accomplished. Do you see him? Do you think a depressed person could make this? No.
It's been a new journey, but like, it's good. And there are so many good things ahead. You know, it's when, you know, God just kind of gives me like a vision for the future, or like, hey, like, I know this is a dream of yours, like one day you'll see it to fruition. And I just get excited about that. And there's so many things to get excited about after college. That would be my encouragement to y'all today, that if you are soon to be graduating college, or if you are already out of college, the Lord has great plans for you, and you really don't need to worry. You just need to trust in His word, in His plan. He has got you. I love you guys. I'm so glad you watched this video. Hopefully there will be another one soon, but you know, it's when inspiration strikes, and that can be very sporadic for me, or if I'm just like, I got some time. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I'll see you guys next time.